Hey everyone, welcome back to Tranquil Dreams, and to the next installment of What's Up. It's been longer than usual. It's almost actually 3 weeks that I haven't posted. The E3 craze kind of took over my life last week, and I just didn't have time to do editing other than for the rest of the E3 coverage over for Game Warp. So, because of all that, I'm gonna leave I'm gonna plug some of the podcast links in the bottom just for the E3 coverage that we did on our impressions. For all the full coverage, you can check that all out on thatmomentin.com. That's where all of the stuff went up. If not, you can also see all the updates on facebook.com / Game Warp Podcast. Anyways, moving back on to what's up. Today, we'll be getting back, of course, to the normal. If you're new here, we check out, this is my little segment that I check out almost every 2 weeks on what I've been TV binging, reading, watching as in movies, and games. So it's generally an update of all the projects in one little capsule. So sometimes it takes me a long time to get some of these other written pieces out, but at least you know what's going on, and I usually highlight the pieces that I like the best. So let's jump right in. For binging, I finished The Dream Job, which is a Singaporean series. I actually quite liked it. It was my first Singaporean series. There was one familiar face, and it was really, really fun because I got to dive into this new culture. It was really similar to, say, a plot line of a lot of Hong Kong series, if you're familiar with that. It was a little predictable, but overall, it was a well enough experience. I liked the fresh faces and seeing other characters and learning about new actors in a different country. After that, I watched Anne with an E, based on Anne of Green Gables. I am a huge fan of Megan Follow's version of Anne of Green Gables, which is a CBC special. Actually, Anne with an E it's also a CBC. It's a CBC series, which is a Canada Broadcast Network series. So it's like national TV for Canada. For those of you who don't know, I am in Canada, so that's why Anne with an E was really fun. The girl who plays it is incredibly interesting. Honestly, I've always been more of an Emily of New Moon girl, so Anne of Green Gables I've never actually finished, and I don't really know a whole lot of the story, and actually, I read it a long time ago, and I've actually wanted to reread Anne of Green Gables, so maybe you'll be seeing that coming up real soon after I've done a few more of my reading projects that I've been working on. Finally, right now, I am watching Shadowhunters, The Mortal Instruments. I'm watching on Netflix, but sadly, it's recently been announced that it's been canceled after its the third season. It's going to be the final one, which is the one that's coming up. I'm a little saddened by it, actually, because I took so long to get around to it, and I actually really like it. The characters are really great. They have some really defining characters, relationships. I think that it really, it highlights a lot of different variety, as well as kind of putting it into this world. Yeah, the world feels a little familiar. There are things that seem really familiar, but I feel that from season 1 to season 2, it's really gone in a really nice track. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still watching. I'm on season 2 right now. You'll probably be seeing the season 1 binge coming out soon. I am having a lot of fun with the series, so I don't know. People are petitioning for it to be renewed. Hopefully it will be. Someone will pick it up. Maybe Netflix will pick it up again. But I mean, reading the reasons of why it was canceled, I don't see that as being very likely. But who knows? Anything can happen, right? We're not here to discuss that. Moving on, next is reading. So reading also hasn't been a lot. I'm taking a little break from reading. I do have a few books lined up that I want to do, but I have a few books that I've kind of been in the back burner that I haven't written about yet. So I didn't really want to get ahead with myself and start reading too much. Since I am quite ahead with my Goodreads challenge for this year, I set it pretty low, so I guess it was set to be achievable. So the first one that I did was I finished King of Me, which is the third book of the King trilogy, which I have the review, so I'll post that in the description below. Actually, King of Me turns out is not going, it was originally a trilogy, but now it has like 5 books, so it's a series. So yay, surprise, I guess. I don't know how they're going to spin it from there. I wrote in my review that I'm going to take a break before I finish the rest of the series. Mostly because I don't know, like, the third book was already spiraling in a direction that I wasn't really happy with. So we'll see where that goes. Of course, because I have been reading this author's stuff, I actually started reading Merman. I'm not incredibly impressed with it right now. I guess I'm still about halfway, so I still can change my mind. I'm not sure right now. We'll see. It's an odd story. It's falling into a lot of the tropes that I don't like. So we'll see where we go with that. I'll fill y'all in the next binge probably when I finish it. Next I just finished Go Home Afton, which is a part of a series that is coming up. This is part of a blog tour, and you'll see this review tomorrow going up on the site. So obviously when this goes up, the next day is, if you're watching this later, the review will already be up on the site. Maybe I'll update it in the description below. If not, you can head over to my blog. If you didn't find this from my blog, then you can see it at klling.wordpress.com. You can find all of that in the description below. That's it for reading. Let's move on to the big one, which is movies. So, movies. We're going to go through this really, really quickly. The whole list of movies I saw Indiscretion. I saw Bad Match. I rewatched The Mermaid, rewatched Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart. There was The Little Death. There was a French book called Bang Gang, a modern love story. I had a rewatch of AVP, Aliens vs. Predator, for Movies and Tea. The podcast already is up, and that's going to be in the description below. I also watched something a little bit more recent, Blade Runner 2049, Set It Up, Ocean's 8. And I watched for Remembering James Horner, the third annual Remembering James Horner blogathon hosted by Film Music Central, and I reviewed the 33. Obviously, the 33, that's already been up. It's going to be in the description below. So, with all these movies that I saw, obviously, well, probably not that obvious, since it's apparently my new word that I like. There were some standout titles. Set It Up was really, really fun as a romantic comedy. I enjoyed it a lot. I like Lucy Liu a lot, but I actually thought the two young actors who were in it, playing the couple that was part of this, it was a really, really fun story, and it was kind of touching to watch. I really enjoyed it. For those who don't know, Blade Runner 2049, I also really enjoyed. However, I am one of those people who haven't seen Blade Runner, at least not fully. So it is something I do want to go back and do just to get the context of what I watched in 2049. But I thought Blade Runner 2049 was really great in the sense that it was easy to follow what was going on without having to be completely lost from the beginning. Obviously, I think that if you are a fan of Blade Runner, you will probably feel a lot more connected to the story. However, I really did like it. I thought it was really, really fun to watch, and there was a lot of deep moments. Ryan Gosling was fantastic. The story itself was really good. There was a lot of stuff that was very, very, like, multi-layered and interesting. I really like the score of this one as well. I really do think this one's also very impressive. Well, recently, as in, like, the Friday before this, like 2 days before this was recorded, this is going up, I watched Ocean 8 with my friends. Full disclosure, I really don't remember much of Oceans 11, 12, and 13. I don't even know, I can't even remember if I actually watched Oceans 13. So, I mean, it's a very separate story, though. The only thing you really need to know is Sandra Bullock plays Debbie Ocean, which is the character of George Clooney's sister. And she gets released from prison, and she sets up this incredible heist. The cast is great. That review is going to go up really soon as well. But, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to go into. The heist was really interesting. The cast was really nice. They had really nice outfits. There was really nice atmosphere and tone, and it's really nice that Richard Armitage is also in there, which is one of a very charming actor that I liked, that I first liked from North and South, a BBC series. So yeah, those are really my highlights. So that's it for movies, which is already a huge bulk of my time. Moving straight into games, I worked a lot on keys that I got, and working on some of the games that I was working on that we got keys for over on Game Warp. So the first one is Shape of the World. I finished a playthrough of it. I probably link the playlist in the description below if you want to check that out. It's a really beautiful game. It's atmospheric. It's a walking simulator. You go through, you interact with nature. I highly recommend it if you like a peaceful, relaxing, peaceful, relaxing game where it has some really nice imagery, and it's really simple. There are no enemies that are going to be after you. It's just, planting and reviving nature around you and stuff. I thought it's a really, really good story. If you're into puzzle games, OmniCube is kind of like, you get trapped into this, like, you get caught into helping this cube called OmniCube, who has multi-layers, and you have to get the puzzles, kick it to different walls in order to get it to, like, the lit up square. And there's obstacles and stuff like that. That review is coming up soon. I'm still working through the game. The game is quite challenging. It has kind of like a Sokoban mixed with I don't know what sort of game concept, and I like that. It's a nice game to go in every once in a while to play a few levels, come back out. It's one of the reasons why the review is taking so long to finish, because I'm still trying to explore the game a little bit more, to get a little bit more of the angle and the depth, to see how many more obstacles they can throw at you, and different things they can add into the puzzles to make it more complex and add more depth. Finally, I finished the Far Away. On mobile, I finished the Far Away series. I played 2 and 3. So I played the demo versions, which is only half of the game, and that half is free on mobile, because I'm a broke-ass gamer, as we always call ourselves. But those games are still pretty cool. They're also puzzle games. They are a modern Myst tribute. At least the devs there play it that way, and I do agree. There is that sort of Myst element to it. There's a kind of like a secret little story going on, and it works for what it is. With that said, I mean, that really wraps up the games. E3 has taken over most of my life in the last 2 weeks or so. We did a lot of prep work before that, just prepping and getting a lot of recording and stuff done. So I've been busy with Game Warp most of these 3 weeks. So the fact that I had all these things done, including all the movies and all the reading, all the binging and games and stuff like that, was quite the miracle, actually. So again, thank you everyone for being here and watching this. I'll see all of you in the next What's Up, coming up in 2 weeks, hopefully. July will be a bit of a busier month, so I'm going to be at a bit of I'm not really sure how the schedule is going to work there, but I'm going to try my best to be updating, and if anything, I will be a lot really, really active on the movie side. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll catch all of you in the next video or post or whatever you follow. Thanks again. Bye.